I knew something was wrong when my sister called me sweetheart. Not because the word was offensive, because she had never called me that. For 8 years, she had called me difficult, unstable, selfish, dramatic, usually through someone else. Then, last month, her name appeared on my phone. Sweetheart, I found you. I stared at the message for a long time. I was sitting at my kitchen table, grading essays from my evening class. My apartment was quiet. There was tea beside my elbow and a stack of papers waiting for me. 8 years ago, I had left my family with $280, one backpack, and a teaching scholarship they insisted I had stolen. I remembered the money because I counted it 3 times before getting on the bus. $280. That was all I had. My father had told our church that I was mentally unstable. He said I had become obsessed with getting away from the family. He said the scholarship belonged to someone more deserving. People believed him. Or perhaps believing him was easier than asking me what happened. I stopped explaining myself eventually. That was how I survived. I left. I finished the program. I became a teacher. And I built a life in which nobody knew my father's version of me. Then my mother called. I didn't answer. 20 minutes later, Grandma called, then my sister, then an aunt I hadn't spoken to in years. By midnight, there were 11 messages. By the next afternoon, 27. I opened them one by one. Some were awkward, some were emotional, some pretended nothing had happened. But every message eventually arrived at the same 3 words. Please come home. I laughed when I first saw them, not because it was funny, because I didn't know what else to do. For 8 years, nobody had asked me to come home. Now everyone wanted me there within 24 hours. I nearly ignored them all. Then Grandma's message stopped me. Please call me. I need you to know something, so I called. She sounded tired. She didn't apologize. Neither did I. Instead, she told me Zbitzat had found an old box in my father's office. Inside were copies of documents from 8 years earlier, my scholarship application, the acceptance letter, the payment confirmation, and a letter from the scholarship organization stating that the award had been granted directly to me. There had never been a stolen scholarship. My father had known that. My sister had discovered it. For a few seconds, I couldn't speak. I had spent years wondering whether I had somehow remembered everything wrong. That was the cruelest part, not being called a liar. Learning to doubt yourself because enough people repeat the same lie. My sister called again that evening. This time I answered. She didn't say sweetheart, she said, I found the records. I know. There was a long silence. Then she said, Dad knew. I closed my eyes. I had expected anger. Instead, I felt tired. The next morning, an email arrived from the Scholarship Foundation. My sister had apparently contacted them while researching the documents. Someone in their administration wanted to clarify the historical record because questions had been raised about my scholarship. They asked whether I could provide my original documents. I did. 2 days later, I received their response. It was short, professional, unambiguous. The scholarship had been legitimately awarded to me. There had been no theft, no misconduct, no investigation against me, no basis for the accusation my father had made publicly. I read the letter twice, then I printed it. I didn't frame it. I didn't post it online. I simply put it in a folder. For 8 years, I had thought the thing I needed most was an apology, but when the proof finally arrived, I realized I wanted something different. I wanted my life back from the argument. That evening, my mother called again. I answered. She cried. She said everyone wanted us to be a family again. I listened, then I told her I wouldn't be coming home. There was another silence. But why? She asked. I looked around my apartment, at the books I had bought myself, at the papers from students who trusted me, at the little plant on the windowsill that I had somehow managed not to kill. Because I already built one, I said. I didn't mean another family. I meant a life. The next morning I went to work. My students were waiting for me. There were essays to grade and a lesson to teach. Nothing dramatic happened. No one applauded. No one apologized at my door. But for the first time in 8 years, I walked into a classroom without carrying my family's story on my back. They had finally proved I wasn't who they said I was. The strange thing was, I didn't need them to anymore. And the 3 words still sat unanswered on my phone. Please come home. I didn't delete them. I just didn't go.